Okay, good evening, everybody. Tonight, let's try and see what we can do here. A little different. Hi there. Thank you for joining. Let's just do a few more. Wait for a few guys to join us. So it's PCOS Awareness Month. Hi there. And we're just going to wait for a few people to join us. We are live on a Monday, which we never do. But because it's PCOS Awareness Month, we decided to do a talk every week. Hi there, Eloise. Thank you for joining. Tonight we've got a guest, Eloise. And Eloise, I'm just going to wait for a few people to join and to get the notification that we are live. So, as I said, it's PCOS Awareness Month. So this month we're going to talk to women that are actually living with PCOS and dealing with PCOS. Hi Mariam, thank you for joining. And then we have a few. Hi guys, hi. Thanks everyone. So we are just, like I said, we're waiting for a few people to join us. And we're talking, and it's Monday evenings, so we normally do the Wednesday evening talks, and we do the Friday afternoons on Facebook. But this week, because of PCOS Awareness Month, we decided to do talks every week, and it is sponsored by PCOSITOL. And PCOSITOL is a supplement for women dealing with PCOS. It's by Dalfrin pharmaceutical company, and Dalfrin is actually sponsoring these talks. So all those who will be doing the talks with us, they're going to get a nice gift from Dalfrin. So yeah, I'm hoping, I think we're going to add Eloise now. Eloise, just give it a couple of minutes for Eloise to join us. Let's see, there we go. Hi Eloise.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks for doing this. I love what you're doing. It's really amazing and giving the opportunity for a lot of ladies to be educated and be able to share it. So it's really awesome. Thanks for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I really like when someone says thank you for doing it. I get these emails and DMs and stuff, and people saying these things, because a lot of times, I mean, it's hard work. People are asking me to do they will say thank you so much, and I'll be like, I really want to give up, because there are things that goes with it. And then afterwards I'm like, no, but you know what, you started this for a reason. This after my friend said to me, you don't give up, you keep on. And I'm like, I'm gonna keep on. So I really appreciate it when I do get that message from someone saying keep on. And again, we're trying to educate women, and a lot of times it's when we didn't have those opportunities. So I'm trying to make sure that other women out there are educated long in advance, before it becomes a problem where you can't actually almost turn back, or it's too late or something. So thank you to everyone who joined. Tonight we are speaking to Eloise. Am I right? Your surname is, what is your surname? Sorry, I don't want to get it wrong.
Van Rooyen.
Okay, I was right, Van Rooyen. I thought Van Rooyen. Eloise van Rooyen, and you're from Essentially Wholesome. And I know you always post pictures of what you're eating and stuff. And Eloise also suffers from PCOS. So she's a sister with us. Yay, fellow sister. And yeah, as you know, I also suffer from PCOS, and that's why I started this page and stuff. So tell us more about who you are, first of all, before we get into anything about PCOS related. But please tell us who you are, Louise.
Hi. So, yes,
Hi.
Eloise from Essentially Wholesome, and I live in Pretoria, grew up in Nelspruit, so hot weather, I love it. Happy summer and springtime is coming up now. And yes, so I actually started my page a while back already, and then I went off for a period. But my goal is also just to share my journey with PCOS, and more specifically our infertility journey, because we're really struggling, which is obviously,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of fellow sisters out there. So that's my journey, and why I post a lot what I eat is just as my personal inspiration and just accountability also. So
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I love seeing what people are eating when it comes to PCOS, because there's so many things out there where people are saying, oh, don't eat this and don't eat that. And
Mm.
so when I'm seeing this, I'm like, okay, fine, I can eat that. And maybe that's a good idea. So please continue doing that, because you never know who you're giving some hints and tips to of what to eat when it comes to PCOS. Um, yeah, because one person will tell you one thing and the other person will tell you something completely different. But then
Definitely.
again, I also understand that PCOS affects the different foods affects different people differently. If you
Mm.
understand what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to try and find out, to try and go through everything that you to try and find different things and decide on what is actually working for your body. But enough about that. I'm going to hand over to you now, and you can just tell us more about who you are, sorry, about your PCOS journey, where it started, how you found out you've got PCOS, and what it is that you do to maintain your PCOS, or sustain, yeah, maintain it more, in
Mm.
living with PCOS.
Okay, so I guess my journey started really right in the beginning. I remember I once asked my mom when I was still in school, like, my cycle isn't normal. My friends, they have every month. I literally never knew. It was always a surprise. Sometimes 3 months, sometimes 4 months, sometimes every month. So it was literally monthly a guessing game. And
Yeah.
she told me it's not really a concern because she went to a gynecologist when she was younger and he told her it's normal, someone women just don't have a regular cycle. So I left it
Mm.
at that because, I mean, I wasn't going to question my mom. My mom did go to a doctor. Obviously, this was probably like in, I don't know, 70s, 80s, somewhere there. And I don't think doctors realized a lot about PCOS back then. So left it at that. And just accepted that is me. That is my cycle. That is how this is my normal. Then I think it was about 2013, 2014. I really started to gain a lot of weight, barely eating, exercising a lot, long hours at work. So really, like, my diet was very minimum, but I just kept gaining weight, kept gaining weight. So I went to a doctor, more concerned maybe something's wrong with my thyroid because my dad had thyroid problems. And surprise, surprise, thyroid is fine, but she told me that I have my blood work, my hormone tests are showing PCOS. So sent me to a gynecologist. I've never heard about PCOS before then, never in my whole life. And she told me, do not go on Google because you will frighten yourself. And what is, I think I was 22, 23 years old. What do? You go into Google. So
Of course.
obviously, because I'm that's my personality. I need to know and understand things. Went to a gynecologist, she confirmed it, and I was put on contraceptives for the first time ever, and just told to drink the contraceptives. Once when you want to have children, we can talk again. And that was my journey
Mm.
up until 2018 when my boyfriend proposed. Because then I realized, okay, I need to look at this again. I don't have finances for IVF, so I really wanted to find a solution naturally. And I knew I needed to go off contraceptive. I mean, we really wanted to have kids. We were together for a lot of years
Yeah.
by then already. So that is pretty much what led me to researching, to finding out, to learning a lot more, still learning a lot more. And for me, currently, it's just mostly trial and error. So I'm
Yeah.
still young in the sense of really researching and understanding it, but I love the information out there that's now rather than back then when I was just told go and contraceptive and talk to me again. And only
Yeah.
realizing that, I mean, it's people's choices what they do to treat their PCOS. But one thing, and it really only hit me a couple of months ago, is I would go every year back to the gynecologist, do the CT scan, the scans, everything, and he would say like, "Oh yes, there's your cysts. They're still there. Here's your next
Mm.
prescription." And only
Yeah.
after doing a lot more research, I realized it was never treating my polycystic.
No.
It was just giving it was giving a fake period. So that is really when I realized like I need to find the natural solutions to this. So
Okay.
yeah.
So tell us what it is that you did, um, because I think that sounds exactly like a lot of women out there. They go to the gynae. The first thing that you get is, here you go. You get put on a treatment of to get your periods back, and you're basically taking the what's it called again? Contraceptives. Sorry, contraceptives, and it's just mind blowing. Like, but I want to have a baby. So why are you putting me on contraceptives? It's like just like there's something wrong with it. Don't the doctor understand? And we did talk about it a while ago with another doctor, a fertility specialist, and she explained exactly why it is that they do this. But again, on our side, it's like, why can't we just treat it from the beginning and do all the right things so that you don't actually need the contraceptives at some point and just do everything naturally? So I'm very eager to hear what it is that you did to, to be able to cope with PCOS naturally.
Well, the first thing that changed back then also was pretty much my journey of essential oils. So my mother-in-law joined the company and I was also introduced to it. And that definitely has impacted a lot in my journey. Not just because of the oils, but because of the community, the people. It opened me up to more people aware of natural solutions. So I use my essential oils to support me for better sleep because tired during the day and lying awake at night is really, it's like, I always just thought it's me, but apparently recently learned it's really a polycystic thing. So I
Yeah.
really love using my oils, putting calming oils at night, having a really good routine at night. It's small steps. So I realized also implementing and trying everything at once, it just heightens your anxiety. And then my personal experience is I crash. So then I go into like a little in front of me like cake because that's comfort. So I'm mostly just doing small steps, getting my sleep better, having a better routine, starting my mornings also better. For me, a big thing is the depression and the anxiety part of it. So really managing that and food, uh, more specifically because a lot of food trigger your inflammation. So I'm really working out on diet, eliminating things, testing, doing FODMAP a lot. Recently did some intolerance test that was very interesting. I'm not saying it's like the all it, but it's an interesting guide because things came up for intolerance, which will heighten your inflammation, which I know now it's like I usually know when I eat this, I don't feel that well, bloating and all of that. So diet is really very important. And I guess my next step now is to exercise.
Yeah. So, sorry, you just mentioned something, an intolerance test. Where did you go for this test?
It's
I think we've lost Louise a bit. Um, uh, Eloise, sorry, you're breaking up quite a bit. Um, Sorry, guys. Eloise seems to have a connection issue at the moment. Eloise, are you there? Okay, so we'll just give it a couple of minutes. Um, um, I think Eloise is having a bit of a problem at the moment. And okay, let me just try, and what I'll do is I will post this one. Okay, okay, I think we'll just wait for Eloise to come back in. I think she's got a bit of a connection problem, and I will just send another invite. These things does happen, guys, so we'll just wait for her to come back in. And I just heard Eloise. There we go. You're
sorry
back.
about that. Sorry about that. Internet dips sometimes.
No
Uh,
worries, no worries at all. Before you go on further, there was something that you actually said I was just mentioning is you spoke about the intolerance test, and that actually sounds like, like, okay, we need to hear about that. What is it? Where did you go for this? What does it do?
so it's from a website actually my mother-in-law found. It's DNA results. So what we did, we just registered online, and then they send you a parcel and you send a few hair strands in it to them back with your root on it. Because your hair retains more your what happened in the past few months in your body. So
Okay,
from that, they took out your DNA and did some do tests to determine what you react to a bit more. So my
okay.
husband suffers from eczema, so that's why we tried it, and then I just also did it because I suffer with IBS. So obviously food.
Mm, okay. So, I think she's, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
okay, I think. Okay, there your internet's just dipping all the time. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry, continue on. Let's try and get through everything quickly and see how it
I'm
even
so
just hold.
sorry.
No worries, no worries, not your fault. It happens.
Yeah, so it's just hair test that they do. And from
Okay,
that, they test how, with what foods you would probably react to it. So I'm
okay.
testing it now for 2 weeks, eliminating everything, and I can feel a difference already. Bloating, inflammation, headaches are less. So I would
Wow.
definitely, yeah.
So
But yeah,
that would actually work because I know that with PCOS, like I said in the beginning, is that certain foods affect certain women. Um, so some women suffering from PCOS would be like, you can't have dairy, you must completely cut out dairy. And with others, if you don't have the dairy, it actually has like the opposite effect or something.
mm,
So, like with me, I'm fine with dairy. I just cannot eat wheat. As soon as I eat the wheat, there is huge issues basically. I cannot eat the wheat. I shouldn't, sorry, let me say I shouldn't eat the wheat. I can literally see myself put on the kilos as soon as I put that slice of bread in. You can literally see it somewhere on my
awesome.
body. The bread goes somewhere. And as soon
Yeah.
as I just cut out the wheat, I'm absolutely fine. So that is actually a really, really good tip of actually finding out exactly what it is that would work for you and what your body is tolerant to when it
Mm,
comes to PCOS because everyone is different. I just want to touch on the food as well. When you're posting things about your food, I don't know. Maybe if I can ask you this question: is a lot of women when they're dealing with PCOS, and you're trying to eat healthy, we also have to consider there's lots of women who would love to eat healthy, but eating healthy costs a lot of money.
mm.
It's expensive. I have to admit, it's expensive. What would you suggest somebody who's trying to actually, live healthy, eat healthy with PCOS? What would be your go-to meal, which is something that's cheap and you can cost effective, let me use that word,
Yeah.
on a budget. Eating on a budget, but still being in the lines of dealing with PCOS, what would you suggest?
Well, my first suggestion is don't go keto, paleo, whatever, low carb, all that, because that is expensive. And just up your veggies. Veggies really isn't expensive, and be creative. You can really be creative.
Yeah.
I love veg, and I always try, we do once a month, we go veg only and roasting it differently, maybe adding some rice or lentils or things like, because I'm fine with lentils. Obviously, you have to taste with your body, but there's a lot of creativity that you can do with veg. So I post a lot of veg dishes. We're not vegan. I mean, Afrikaans, South African. Vegan is not going to work. But I do post a lot of that. And then something I do invest in, which is A small thing every now and then is a good coconut cream or coconut milk, because
Okay.
that replaces dairy for me. Like dairy is a big no-no for me personally. Like I cannot have dairy. So, and just try and eat on those days where you feel like you want a piece of cake or something, don't punish yourself. Because in a
Yeah.
sense, we still need to have a balanced life. You still need to enjoy.
Mm,
That's how I live, balanced.
okay.
Can you hear me
Sorry,
still?
guys. I can hear you. I can
Okay.
hear you. Okay. I think we're just gonna wrap it up. We'll give you last words and we'll just wrap it up. I mean, we could always do these talks again. I completely understand. Sometimes it's just the connections are just bad all over. But yeah, thanks
Yeah.
anyway for doing this. If you just want to give your last words.
Yeah. Thanks so much. And sorry about the internet. I even told my husband go
Oh.
off.
No
But
worries.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
I think advice
Well,
for,
thank you. Yeah.
sorry, last bit of advice just for every woman is just trial and error and be positive. You will find the
Yeah.
small things. So, and keep going. That's my best advice.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I've seen someone's pretty Lungi. Lungi, tonight, unfortunately, we don't. Maybe you could ask questions. Maybe you can actually just inbox Eloise if she doesn't
Sure.
mind. You can inbox Eloise. And if there's something about PCOS that you want to ask her, you're welcome to ask her. But tonight, we are actually just talking to real women dealing with PCOS and not actually fertility specialists or anything like that. If you
Mm.
guys are looking to speak to a fertility specialist, you can join us on Wednesday evenings or Friday at 12 o'clock. And most of the times that is when we have our specialists and you can ask them questions. But thank you very much for joining. I wish you could have had an even longer chat. And hopefully we can do it again soon. And I'd love to hear all
Yeah.
about your essential oils and what it is that you do. But thanks. I liked your advice about the food and eating on a budget because that's important. You've always got to consider there's a lot of women who want to do it, but eating healthy is expensive. One little tip for you guys is, you always veggies are like people say, oh, eating healthy is expensive and veggies are expensive and stuff. You go to the guy in the corner that's got that big stand. I promise you, from a 200 Rand, you guys will get so many vegetables. And the more vegetables you pack into your daily diet, the better it is for you. You'll actually get like 200 Rands, like bags of veggies compared to going to, I don't even want to say the name, Woolies or Pick and Pay or something. You'll get a whole lot less. So that's a good tip for you guys. But thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And thanks, Eloise. Have a great evening further.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.